Family Guy, here to stay. Family Guy is blowing The Simpsons out of the water so far. Still love The Simpsons, but as of right now, Family Guy is it. I hate to agree, being a diehard Simpsons fan from the beginning, but in my honest opinion, Family Guy has lapped them in the funny department. I agree. Family Guy is The Simpsons for the year 2000. Did anyone else notice that most of the men's chins look like scrotums? And is the plural of that scrota? I noticed this right away, and I cannot watch the show without thinking it. It drives me nuts. No pun intended. Stewie's, diction. Does anyone else talk like Stewie for a little while after watching? Or am I the only one? Reminds me of Calvin. Mike. Unfortunately, I do. I find myself saying, "For every sprinkle I find, I shall kill you." A Family Guy post. I love this show. That Scooby-Doo Murder Files episode made me choke. The thing I don't get is why everyone understands the dog when it talks, but nobody understands the baby. Oh well, that's my post on this subject. Take care, Susan. This show kicks ass. It's a cartoon. It doesn't matter. Just enjoy it and don't take it so seriously. Hey, weren't you one of the people on the South Park news group who asked, how come Kenny gets killed every episode and can keep coming back to life? Lone Wolf. Let the posts come forth. Well, finally, I can read this news group. Okay, what is the deal with this show? A talking baby? A talking dog? A son who has the personality of a minor household appliance? Also, who is the voice talent? Peter's and Lois's voices sound familiar, but I cannot read the credits in the half-screen format to find out who they are. And why is Lois drawn so attractively, while Peter looks like Jabba the Hutt on a good day? And after next week's finale, will we ever see this show again? Evan. A group I can enjoy. I am watching the show now, and I was glad to find this group. I hope people with the ability to post WAV sounds will get some of the great one-liners up here quick. Stewie is an amazing character. Dave. Family Guy. Hey everyone. I'm glad to see a news group dedicated to the best new cartoon of 1999, Family Guy. I think this show will be a worthy, but not equal, successor to The Simpsons. Any show that comes up with the idea of homicide, life on Sesame Street, cannot fail to be brilliant. Sunday 9 May's episode had a brilliant joke at the end, where they made fun of various races, then apologized, except when it came to Canada. That was funny as hell. Stewie continues to surprise and entertain me. I loved it when he was watching the Teletubbies and said, "Amazing, the more I resist, the more it appeals." Brilliant stuff. I hope Seth MacFarlane keeps up the good work. Hi, I just joined and wanted to know if anybody had a lot of WAV sounds of Stewie, or pictures, cause I want to start a webpage dedicated to little Stewie. He's so cute. Thanks to all that can help. Oh, and I'm not yelling. I just like caps. Mary. WAVs. Gotta get some WAVs. I don't see any Family Guy themes out the yet, so I'm thinking of making one. Any random WAVs will do, but I must have Stewie saying, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" Love, Family Guy, and Stewie. Hi everyone. I just found out that my ISP picked up the Family Guy news group. So I'm just posting to say that I love the show. I've seen every episode, except for the one that aired last night, but I taped it so that I can watch it today. My favorite characters are Stewie and Brian, especially Stewie. Could that kid be more quotable? Victory is mine. Who does he remind me of? Sorta crazed Anthony Hopkins thing happening? Maybe a cross between Hannibal Lecter and the space alien from the Bugs Bunny cartoons? Anyway, I think the show is great for the most part. I'm a little disappointed with Chris, the teenage boy, but I think he'll be better when they get him fleshed out a little more. Seems like they already started to do just that in the May 9th, 1999 episode. His head reminds me of a football. Could easily throw him for a long bomb. You're not the only one here who loves Family Guy. I like all the characters the same, but I like Brian the best. You'll find a lot of people here, too, who love Family Guy, and I hope we can be friends. Yours truly, Julie the Nimrod Fallner. Hilarious. Good God, I love this show. Brian is hilarious, and Stewie leaves me in tears. If anybody has any Stewie wavs, please post them. Thanks. Thanks to Nigel for the Brian wavs. Stewie. Can the people around him understand him when he talks? Or is it just us, the audience? I think that they can, because his mom sometimes answers him. Family Guy rules. This is an exercise for the viewer to answer, I believe. Of course, we know Brian can understand him. Lois seems to be the one most likely to understand him, but either she only knows the gist of what he is saying, i.e., damn you woman equals Stewie's cranky, or, more likely, she ignores him. Please settle this. I say the family can understand Brian, but not Stewie. They just hear a crying infant and speculate as to what he's upset about. A friend believes they can understand both. Is there a true answer, or is this purposely ambiguous? As someone said earlier, it's whenever the writers feel like it. It's not worth pondering. It's just funny. Here's my take on it. It seemed that in the first couple of episodes, only the dog understood Stewie. They understood Brian perfectly. Everyone understands Brian perfectly, and seems to think nothing of an extremely intelligent talking dog. However, Stewie's insane rantings seem to only be babble to everyone in and outside of the family, save Brian. Brian understood him perfectly. Go figure. Somewhere around the third or fourth episode, the family suddenly understood every single word that Stewie said. It's not as if they kind of understood him. They appear to completely understand his every word. So what happened? The enigma. Where did they smoke to think up this show? Don't get me wrong, it's absolutely brilliant. Who created this show? Did they do any other shows I would recognize? Hooray for Family Guy. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Julie Greta Fallner. I'm 21 years old. I live in Baton Rouge, LA. I make a living by playing the sax at a local blues club. And I am a big fan of Family Guy. It's one of the best cartoons I've seen in a long time. It's funny and hilarious, and the characters are very cool in their own way. You got a dumb dad, a devoted mother, a dim-witted son, a mopey daughter, a homicidal baby, and a smart dog. My favorite is Brian because he's the smartest one. I hope I can be your friend also. If you must know, I am a newbie. I'm here to talk about Family Guy and be a friend. See you soon. Yours truly, Julie the Nimrod Fallner. About Meg. I think I know why all the teens at Meg's school hate her. Because we all know, Meg is a mopey teenager and she's always looking on the negative side of things. She even thinks she's a big loser too. I think the reason why they hate her is because of her mopey and negative personality. It was revealed in the Stewie's birthday episode that Meg was always hated by her peers. Anyone remember that cheerleading bit? ISUCKED. Sucked. I mean, let's face it. Every time we see teenage girls on sitcoms and stuff, they're always these popular boy-crazy, worldly-wise fashion plates. And that's getting old. Meg, on the other hand, is, well, she's an outcast. In my honest opinion, it is nice to see a teenage girl from a sitcom or whatever be an outcast for a change. I hope Chris turns out to be an outcast too, because of his dopiness. I also hope to see his school sometime soon. Yours truly, Julie, the Nimrod Fallner. Stewie has a football head. Obviously, Stewie's head is shaped like a football, but he's still hilarious as hell. In fact, Stewie kind of looks like another cartoon character I know. He was bald too, and had thin strands on his head. Really skinny, also. But only this character has a light bulb shaped head and a big long nose. His personality was kind of like Stewie's, but only very wimpy and naggy. And believe me, people, you'd all be better off not knowing who he is. Yours truly, Julie, the Nimrod Fallner. Is Lois a sex symbol? I had just rewatched the episode where Peter opens his bar and Stewie constructs his time machine. And beforehand, I had remembered the part where Lois did her semi-striptease with the bathrobe during her debut performance on the piano. I watched it again on a Real Player download, and I must say that I was impressed. McFarlane has a knack for capturing a hidden sexiness among an ordinarily average cartoon suburban housewife, although her slip could have been a bit more clingy if you know what I mean. Brent. P.S. Is Pewterschmidt a Jewish name? Lois seems to have some of the features of the Scot-Irish type. Family Guy versus Frasier. Thoughts? Mine is that Fox is making an empire. I'm predicting Ally McBeal will die. Fox will buy out WWF for Mondays. Cops control Saturdays. Obviously, Fox is in complete control of Sundays. They own Fridays. Family Guy will beat Frasier. This will make NBC squeeze its cream of the crop into Tuesdays and Wednesdays, making it go head-to-head with ABC's best. If I were ABC, I'd put football somewhere in the middle of the week. Tuesday, Thursday rather than Monday. Maybe on Tuesday, that'll kill NBC. Then they'd squeeze all of their best into Wednesday. NBC now, falling into the financial pitfall, will be bought out by Fox. That's my prediction. I'd like thoughts on that too. I say, I must agree. I think Fox will someday be as big a network as NBC. Besides, let's face it, Family Guy and Frasier are both popular shows. I predict Family Guy will beat Frasier and all those other pathetic so-called must-see TV sitcoms they show. Long live Family Guy. Yours truly, Julie, the Nimrod Fallner. Family Guy beating out Frasier. I dread the day when a show that is as worthless as The Family Guy beats out a show that is as intelligent as Frasier. I predict Family Guy being canned before a third season. That's nice. 1. This news group is for fans of Family Guy. 2. I wholeheartedly recommend all viewers of this news group kill file the idiot posting these anti-Family Guy messages. A. 3. B. A. A kill file is also known as a mail filter. Most newsgroup readers come equipped with them. They filter out messages from posters that you specify. B. Honk is a sound effect to indicate that a person has been added to a kill file. In other words, asshole, I don't have to see your ignorant, pathetic bullshit anymore. Have a nice day. Lone Wolf. Episode ideas. Does anyone have any ideas for Family Guy episodes? I have this idea where Chris gets beat up by the school bully, and Meg comes to his defense and beats the bully herself. Then afterwards, Meg pushes Chris into learning martial arts to defend himself, when the bully challenges him to another showdown. Meg's and Chris's reputations both change for the worse, but Brian tries to talk the kids out of fighting. Meanwhile, Peter announces he gets a temporary new boss at his job, while his boss is on vacation. And his new boss looks like Saddam Hussein, and he is very fond of Peter. So he invites the boss over for dinner, only to be captured by Stewie, who he thinks is the real Saddam, and tries to get advice from him. So, what does everyone think about this episode idea? Comments are greatly acceptable. Yours truly, Julie, the Nimrod, Fallner. You're a whack job. Who has the time to come up with plot ideas and not get paid for them? If I had that free time. Rush. Stewie rocks. Love that Stewie, baby. Too crude. I like Family Guy, especially the dog and the baby. They're a riot. It's very witty and satirical like The Simpsons and Futurama, but has a tendency to be just too crude trying to be funny. I couldn't believe how crude it got when Peter was remembering an episode of One Day at a Time. It just seemed to go on for minutes. They don't need to do that. I'm going to have sex with you, Miss Romano. Sex. Intercourse. Etc. Family Guy images wanted. Hey, I've asked this before, but no one answered. Please help me. Do you guys know of any sites or places I can find Family Guy images? Preferably desktop-sized images from the series, but now anything will do. Can you either write a response to me personally, or to the news group itself? Hopefully I will get a response this time. Thanks in advance. Emmy snub. All this talk about Family Guy being the freshest new animated sitcom in years, and the Emmy nomination goes to Futurama instead. Go figure. There is a very simple reason for all of this, Dave. Family Guy sucks. Go Futurama. Welcome to the mail filter, jackass. Plonk. Have a nice day, m'kay? Lone Wolf. Wrings his hands, sighing constantly. Oh, I've been added to his mail filter. Whatever shall I do? Heh. Some guy whose quote is from Lake Placid. Lake Placid. Family Guy. They both suck. What a correlation. Family Guy. Where is Homer when you need him? In a different news group. Why not go find him there? Welcome to the filter, and have a nice day. Plonk. Lone Wolf.